Morning all, how are we doing? How is everybody this morning? Another busy night in Asia, as you can see by the ADR dashboard. Absolutely kicking overnight. Boring. Morning Ian, morning Bradley, JC, Neo, Yotko, Abdul, Virginia, Magnus, morning. God Morgan. Morning Evans, Michael, Leshy, Gregor, Danny, Darrell, Martin, Edward, how are we doing? Right, so today we have had the NAB business conference overnight. We've had the claimant count for the pound this morning, which came out as a negative. We've just had the unemployment rate come out this morning at 4.2 on a forecast of 4.3. So that's good because the unemployment has gone down, which is good. That was forecast 7 o'clock, but that's only just appeared on my timeline for some reason. I don't quite know why, but anyway. That's like 7 o'clock, and yet that news is 7:49. So I don't know whether it was delayed coming out or whether that's a glitch on Financial Juice or what it is. But anyway, so positive reaction to the pound. Pound has had a nice little spike off of that. Haven't got any pound exposure on at all, but all pound pairs rallying off of that. So obviously unemployment going down is good because it allows interest rate rises if required. So that's obviously a good piece of news. Nothing from the US dollar yen overnight. Nothing from Japan since that big move yesterday. Wasn't even an ADR, but it was a big move. There was a big order came in yesterday. Whether that was a profit take move with Japan scaring the market, or whether it was Japan starting some kind of intervention move to try and slow progress, I don't know. But there's nothing happened overnight. There's no overnight news at all. Very quiet. We have had some rumblings out of Japan, so I'm aware there are pros and cons from a weak yen. I won't comment on Forex levels. So they are still talking the yen this morning, but nothing really exciting. This is all in weird orders, isn't it? Look, there's 7 o'clock news, 7:30, 0:39, 7:40, 1:15. The times are all out of whack. There you go. Now they're in whack. Something went wrong there this morning, didn't it? So difficult to tell with the yen, but we'll see. Jordan speaking right now. Unlikely we get anything there. They never say anything. The Swiss National Bank, never give us any clues as to anything that's going on. So the main news today is 1:30 this afternoon. So it's CPI day, inflation figures for the US, one of the biggest news events of the month, or probably close to the biggest news event of the month, because it's a big driver for inflation. And obviously that is what seems to be driving the market at the moment. So that's 1:30 this afternoon. I would suspect we get a fairly chilled morning this morning because nobody's going to want to make any big moves until that number comes out. So 1:30 CPI, that's your big mover today. DAX this morning, we've got quite a big rally on the DAX this morning. We had no gap, basically. It was just nothing. And it's been rallying literally pre-market since we opened. So big strong move out of the highs today. So we'll see if that continues, but the market very strong this morning. We are out of the weekly high with this move that's going on now. You can see the weekly level is this one here. So from an upside perspective today, if we're going to rally, there's nothing to stop us until we get up to that monthly low, a monthly high. We've got another high there, which is beyond ADR. So literally, if this thing wants to rally today, it's a long run all the way up to ADR. There's nothing in our way at all. So we'll see where we go. If we're going to break down, obviously, we'd be looking. There's a high there, which is the previous day's high, which was reactive yesterday. So we know there is a potential resistance level there that broke, then got re-supported. So that's a decent level. Other than that, it's yesterday's low. So we'll see where we go at the open. Got 2 minutes to go. So it's that level here. So we pushed up. It's where we closed basically there on Friday. We reacted at it yesterday, which was the gap fill, and then we broke through it, and it was supportive. So this zone basically is a fairly decent support resistance, which is the previous day's high. So that would be your initial potential bounce point to the downside, but more likely will run to the lows. See where we go. No ADRs today. Nothing's hit its weeklies. Nothing's hit our monthlies yet. So nothing to look at on the ADR dashboard. RSIs, same as yesterday. It's the same RSIs as yesterday, pretty much. So there we go. Sec. Okay. Right. So let's see where we go. Yesterday, not bad yesterday. 2.5% gain yesterday. Nice trades on the US yesterday afternoon. One hedge, one win, one exit early. Right, markets open. Where are we? DAX. Wake up. Long on the DAX. So, yeah, so taking the pre-market 15 today. Long. See where we go. Afternoon, morning even. Everybody I haven't said hello to. Antonius, Kennelly, James. Oh, blimey, that was a big order just came in there. Wow. Whoa. Okay, hedged on the DAX. That's a lot of volatility there today. Wow, really selling hard. Morning outro. Okay, so downside, 5-hour target to the downside is down towards yesterday's low. That's a really big sell coming this morning. We are obviously at this previous week's high level, so it may be this is basically a failed price discovery to see if we can go long, and the market basically selling that off this morning. But we'll see. We need some continuation on this move, but certainly a big aggressive sell. Okay, we'll give that a few minutes to unravel. It's a big move. US indices selling off hard this morning as well. So this looks like sort of sector purchasing. Basically, they're all selling off at the same time. We just had the Spanish CPI figures come out, all as forecast. It's nothing to do with that. Interesting move this morning. Right, we'll see where we go. Right, so there's no ADRs to look at today, all flat. So the only RSI extensions we've got are pretty much similar to what we've had this week already. Things are still pushing. So it's yen-based and New Zealand-based at the moment. So US dollar yen, obviously yesterday we had that attempt out of those highs. The Japanese came out and gave us a shot across the bow and said, do not push, we will push back. They pushed back in the afternoon. That move, again, halted. So we've stopped the rally. but we haven't made any progress. So it's obviously to be seen now whether we drop. I suspect we will. I've got 2 positions on. First one taken as we broke out of that high, assuming we were going to go for the 152. Second one triggered on the intervention or spike, whatever it was yesterday. So got 2 shorts on that one at the moment. So looking for a similar move down back into the lows of the range, or some kind of intervention move if they decide to do it. So shorts on that one. That's nicely extended on the 4-hour RSI yesterday above the 80 level. Again, every time we get above the 80, every time we get below the 20, it's very unusual not to get a good strong pullback. So good opportunity for shorts on that one. Your euro yen as well has been pushing very, very hard. You can see the intervention move in there yesterday as well. It wasn't big. I call it an intervention move. Not convinced it is. That's more like a profit take move. So it's basically the Japanese, every time they say we're watching the FX markets, it's a signal to the banks to get out, and some of them will. So I think that was more of a profit take move yesterday we saw. So we are still due a nice pullback on this leg at the moment. So that's nicely extended yesterday. We had the little knee-jerk reaction, but not gone anywhere so far this morning. So that's still extended. It's only just extended though. We've also got the Euro New Zealand and the Pound New Zealand both extended on the hourly and the 4-hourly. So Euro New Zealand, I've got 5 on at the moment. So I've been in this for a while now, 4 weeks. So as you can see, 5 weeks. First entry was down there on the H1 RSI extension, looking for a continuation short move. We didn't get it. So added in, and then we had this massive rally where the New Zealand dollar devalued dramatically. 2 weeks, solid, straight up, everything against the New Zealand dollar. So it scaled into this. I took 2 positions off, banked a nice profit on it. That was the exit on the entire position. Obviously, I didn't take that because I was already out of some. So I'm still in. It's 125, 150 ADR to the downside for an exit. So I'm hoping we're just going to form a range here now. We're coming up to monthly highs, weekly highs. So looks like a good looking short opportunity where we are at the moment. Be looking for that kind of pullback. Looking for a 50% retracement on it, really. So that's nicely extended. It also extended on the hourly, coming up to that lovely level of resistance. So good, nice short opportunity on that one. Pound New Zealand, very much the same story. First entry taken on that one this morning, looking for a move back down. I'll go for propulsion. Move back down into the propulsion gap, which is basically that accumulation that started the rally. So let's see if they can retest that. We've got that high and that high. If I spot any reactions at those levels, obviously I might think about taking it off down there, but that would be the first target on that one. So that is 4-hour RSI extension above the 75 level. Again, coming up to monthly double top. Nice level of resistance if we're going to continue a range. And hourly RSI extension as well. That's now above the 75 level. So we got there yesterday as well, but then we had the gap down. New Zealand dollar gaps loads on the swap. So entry on it this morning. So there you go. So there's your RSIs. Everything else I've got on is just normal. Going up and down and up and down. Not going anywhere, basically. So everything else is just flip-flopping around at the minute. Directionless. Waiting. Oil yesterday, we had a lovely rally yesterday, so we confirmed that leg yesterday. We're back inside the opening range. This is volatile this morning. All over the place. The NASDAQ's just made a new high of the day. The S&P is just double topped. Dow Jones is pushing as well. A lot of volatility coming in this morning, but no direction so far. So we'll wait and see. If you're taking the 5-minute opening range break today, you're inside bar. So you haven't triggered an entry yet. So that'll be your 5-minute opening range break entries. So either you're going to go short or long from that break there. Very difficult to tell where you're going at the moment. Bang, back inside the initial cash balance this morning. we'll have to wait for that this morning, see where we decide to go. So yeah, oil yesterday, lovely rally up yesterday. We got the gap fill, retraced from the gap fill and put a new leg up. OPEC came out yesterday and basically gave the market a bit of a ticking off verbally. It's like, why are you selling oil? Everything is saying it should be going up, guys. We've restricted supply. There's a big demand increase. China's just opened its doors. We've got lots of extra stuff there, and we've got a second world war starting in the Middle East. Buy oil, everyone. So they did. So yesterday, OPEC did the trick. We've got oil inventories tomorrow, which is a double because we didn't get one last week. So if we can just hold stable somewhere around here today and just do a nice rotation, hopefully we'll get a continuation rally tomorrow. So I'm looking for that to push back up into these lows. There's a TP on that position, and then I'm going to hold the second one for a run because I think we are going up before Christmas. But market structure shift, obviously that H1 reversal alert there, retested beautifully, and market structure is now looking very much bullish. But we will see what happens when we get to that level there. So this whole zone here basically is a potential next leg down. So we need to see what happens when we get there as to whether or not we get the bounce. But gone nowhere so far this morning. Everything else is pretty much the same. There's not an awful lot moving today yet. I wouldn't expect an awful lot of movement today. I would expect an awful lot of rotation today. We might get decent intraday movement, but I wouldn't expect it to really make any directional moves until we get that CPI figure at 130. Once that comes out, that will give us an idea on the direction of the US. Once we've got an idea of the direction of the US, we can do everything else. So just kind of waiting at the minute. Just flicking through to see if there's anything interesting. Look at that. Euro US dollar, 5 days, totally sideways. Maximum ADR, 65. It's just not going anywhere, is it? DAX has broken short. Really difficult market at the moment. I'm not getting many entries at all. As you can see, I mean, there's no RSI extensions happening, so very difficult to get into stuff. And the stuff that I have got into, most of it is just been straight in, straight out. But apart from the New Zealand dollar, which is just being stubbornly weak at the moment. Even more weakness coming through today. Look. This is our first New Zealand news. We've got Aussie wage price index tomorrow. We've got unemployment for the Aussie on Thursday. So that will move the Aussie and New Zealand on Thursday. Unemployment rate forecast to go up. So if we get a 3.7, if we get a 3.6 or lower on Thursday, everything will start to come down against the Aussie and the New Zealand. So that will power up nicely. So let's hope for decent unemployment figures Thursday morning. Right. We will continue to take all possible steps for Forex moves. Suzuki has just spoken again. I'm really tempted on this other account just to take a short. I just got a feeling this time this is it for the yen. Took 2 attempts last time. Yeah. See, that was only 300 ADR. That was a good 600 ADR. If that is the first intervention, that is the second intervention, that is the first intervention. I just got a feeling the next one is going to be there. But and this is where we would expect it to happen. So, and the fact that he's still shooting warning shots after yesterday's move, I just get the feeling this one's going to be it when it happens. But I think this afternoon is going to be the key for this. So this afternoon's CPI figure for the US dollar has the potential, obviously, to rally the US dramatically. If we get a CPI figure higher than forecast, we should get a rally on the US. So if we get that rally on the US, that's going to take the US dollar yen up here. I think that's probably when we're going to see the move. So it could be this afternoon if that US news comes out higher than expected. So we're forecasting a 3.3 year on year. The month on month basically is forecasting to drop. So we're expecting drops across the board. If we don't get those, I think we've got possibility of getting a strong move on that yen today. Almost want to set another account up just to trade the intervention move. See what happens. Right, that's all I got for you this morning. And analysis wise, because there's not a lot else to look at really. DAX is out the lows, so if you're taking the 5-minute ORB today, you are short. We're just breaking or trying to break pre-market lows. We've got that little area from yesterday towards the end of New York held up. That is your first potential problem area, that propulsion gap, because that was the start of the move yesterday in the afternoon. I'm just catch up on the chat. Outro, I've solved the 1K units problem. Have you? Why? How? What? Tell me. Morning, Dion. Morning, Gray. Big rally on the FTSE was there. I suspect it's not anymore. Everything else is coming down. Morning, Day Trader FX. I really need the FTSE, don't I? I need to change broker. I might change broker just for the morning stuff. Yeah, that's not a big rally on the FTSE, is it? It tried. Same as everything else, it tried, and then it got slammed. Huge volume today, big volatile move, straight up into that double top. Look. Limit orders, the power of the limit order. I had all my range end times at the same time. In the OLB EA. That shouldn't really affect lot size, though, should it? Should it? I mean, time has nothing to do with lot calculation. Time is just when it triggers certain parts of the script. It doesn't really do anything there. I don't know. But I'm glad you fixed it. As long as you fixed it, that's the main thing. So we're still selling off across the board on the US at the moment. DAX is having a little bit of a pullback. If we have a look at all the indices at the moment and where we're potentially going with these. So the DAX, obviously, at the minute, long-term view, we're in a 2-week rally at the moment. But obviously we are in a bear market at the minute. So this is potentially, obviously, a pullback. This high here is our critical point. Yeah, so that if that is invalidated, that means that market structure is holding and we're looking for potentially switch into a bull market. All the US indices are already out of the highs. So that switch back to a bull market potentially has already happened. So we do often get a Santa rally moving into Christmas. Critical point on the NASDAQ, look. Right now, today, potentially could have a drop on our hands. But so yeah, all the US indices are already broken out. The DAX, however, a lot weaker than the others at the moment. So are we back into a bull rally? And if so, US dollar should be starting to weaken. which will obviously please the Japanese. But I'm not convinced yet. Anybody got anything else they want to look at this morning? Any other pairs or anything in particular? Because I haven't really got anything else to look at. We're going to flip-flop around all day today until CPI. So the pound is the only thing that is potentially going to trigger entries today. So if you look at the pound, obviously off the back of the unemployment figures, we are starting to get towards extension on the RSI on the pound. So we'll be looking potentially for some entries short on the pound pairs. I've just got pound New Zealand on this morning. Pound odds getting close. Pound CAD is at 70. That's just broken out of last week's high. Pound Swiss has got a bit of room to do. Pound yen I'm not interested in at the moment. Pound US, that obviously will, if the US dollar gets good news, that will extend, and then we'll be looking for one of them. Little late morning XR8 update.news. CPI news trading for this afternoon will be interesting. If you're going to trade news, if you're going to trade the news, you're always going to find it interesting. You're also going to find it very unprofitable long term. News trading is not easy. DAX is, we've got an inside bar on the DAX. So we have paused a little bit at the moment at the pre-market lows. So this next 5-minute candle on the DAX going to be quite critical. If we break that low, we've basically got a flush down into propulsion. So nice run down to 4R. Regardless of the news, the markets haven't been playing ball. That's the markets. That's what they do, what they want. This is why it's pointless and fruitless trying to find some way of extracting money from it on a regular basis, because it doesn't do anything regular. It's totally irrational. Every time you think you found something that looks rational, it goes, nope, doesn't work anymore. Which is why position trading works, because we don't care which way it goes, do we? We just wait. Wait for it to do what it wants to do when it wants to do it. It will do it at some point. Euro New Zealand, we've got a nice double top potential coming up here. I've got 5 on this. I'm not quite at a point I want to do drawdown control on this yet. I'm not far off though. I'm 2.5% in drawdown on that position. So I might watch this today. If we can get a rally on this today, I might think about doing an aggressive drawdown control just with 0.5% risk. So it'd be a very tight one. So I'll be waiting for us to get up to those highs there. So this is weekly and monthly highs. So if we can get a rally up into there today, I might take a reversal alert there with an aggressive drawdown control position, just with a fairly tight quarter of an ADR, third of an ADR stop, something 30 pips, something like that, just to see if I can get a decent move off of that high, because I think we'll probably start to sell that high off, but whether or not it actually turns or not will be another matter. But I think we will get a reaction there. If it is the reaction that we've had the last 3 times we've attempted that level, we'll be looking at a swift pullback. So getting my average up within ADR will give me a chance to get out of some of this and do a bit of drawdown control down here. Just in case, because this 50% retracement could turn into a new leg up. But Thursday, we've got the news. So if the Australian dollar gets decent figures on Thursday for unemployment, this will come down because New Zealand dollar will power up with that. But so I'll be looking to take something like a 2 2 lots short up at those highs. So %50 of the move. Uh, 33. So stop loss of a quarter of an ADR is just above ADR today. So that's the sort of move I'd be looking at, taking a reversal once that move is in. Third of an ADR basically is going to cost me about 0.4%, which is acceptable. That's an aggressive drawdown control position. So that will bring my average from there up to around about ADR. So if we do get that reaction today, could happen anywhere actually. I mean, we've got multiple levels it could happen at. I'm not going to put that order. I'm going to wait for a reversal obviously, but there's multiple levels it can happen at. The nice thing about where we are at the moment on this one is you've got this area here, which should hopefully be reactionary, be looking for a push back down into that previous support, resistance turned support. Failing that, you've got all these areas here, which are previous resistances, which we rejected at. So we sold hard out of all of these levels. So that's all basically from 100 to 150 ADR today, that other monthly high level you've got in there. There's a load of extra opportunities for the market to react at those levels. So if it pushes up into there, there's another opportunity for aggressive drawdown control as well. So taking one there, if that fails, waiting until we get up to sort of these sorts of areas and then trying again, you're only going to take 2 aggressive drawdown controls. If they fail, you're waiting until you get up to that monthly. So it's nice and easy to plan an aggressive exit on this. But it's not too bad in drawdown at the moment. So DAX isn't going anywhere today. So we're retesting the pre-market opening range. So at the moment, structure's short. So we got high. We've just put a new low in. Yeah, so this is potentially where we're going to find a lower high. Then we look for a lower low and push back into propulsion. So that would be target to the downside somewhere in there, potentially. So what I'm going to do this morning, just going to monitor this and see what sort of price action we get at 4R if we get down to 4R. We've got yesterday's low coming up and we've got ADR down in that area there. That's a V-shaped recovery. That's not a really very good propulsion gap. So the real support today where we're going to find limit orders triggering is yesterday's low. However, we may well find that we get a bounce out of that area. So think about market structure and how we move. When we get to that level, if we get a bounce and a continuation down to yesterday's low, you can still get out on that bounce. You may find we just get to that area and come back up again. Yeah, so either way, you should get a bounce out of that propulsion move. That was a long accumulation. Then the market broke 10 minutes, broke 2 highs in 10 minutes, and then rallied from there. So we definitely know there's a load of buyers sitting at this level. If we're going to put in bullish market structure from yesterday's low, and we're not going to test yesterday's low, that's where we would expect the pullback to be if we're going to put a new leg up. So good to target 4R to the downside, but just going to watch price action. We've got to get there yet. At the moment, we're broken high, haven't we? So we'll see. But not going anywhere at the minute with any vigor, is it? So I'll monitor that today. I'll update in Telegram what I do with it. But at the moment, not going anywhere. So we just have to wait. Right. Morning, Peter. I'm just finishing. You're late. I've got nothing else to talk about this morning. Just waiting for stuff. So CPI 1:30 this afternoon. That is your main news event. So looking for some kind of move off of the US dollar this afternoon. That's going to be your major market mover. Other than that, we need to just keep an eye on the yen and keep an eye on the financial juice. If Suzuki keeps coming out and saying things, especially if they rally that US dollar this afternoon, if that US dollar rallies this afternoon, we will have, I'm pretty sure, more stern words coming out of Suzuki and probably something happening within the next couple of days, if not even today. Yeah, we're up at the very, very critical levels on that pound, on that US dollar yen. So we'll see what happens this afternoon, but I'll be back this afternoon at 2:20, and obviously we'll have a look at the markets again, have a look at how that US move has unfolded, and see if there's any way we can extract some cash out of it. But US dollar yen, I think, is probably your best bet at the moment. And we'll see what happens with the DAX. But at the moment, hedged on the DAX, not really got any directional bias, so just waiting to see what happens. But I'll update in Telegram what happens with that one. And I'll keep an eye on it when we get down to that propulsion gap. That's the first area to the downside I'm going to pay attention to. Upside, just before I go. Yeah, upside is unlimited today. So if we do break up, it's very hard to pick a level. So at the moment, I'm looking at 5R just shy of ADR. So that's ADR. 5R is just shy of ADR. Can't see any levels on that chart. So target is basically somewhere around there. I mean, there is no reason for the market to turn at any point really until we get to that high. So all you're relying on really with a 5R target in this type of situation is the market running out of steam and wanting to do a bit of a pullback. Then it can decide whether it wants to do that or that. Doesn't matter, does it? As long as it runs out of steam and does a pullback, that's all we're looking for. So you just have to pick a level, pick a price point, and 5R is as good as any at the moment to the upside. So upside is an unknown, downside, got two obvious spots. Target. So we'll see where we go. But at the moment, we're back where we started. Gone nowhere. Right. So have a good morning. I'll be back this afternoon at 2:20 for the US session. We'll have a look at where we're going, where we've gone with the US, analyze that. If you're not around this afternoon, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time as usual. Other than that, have a good morning, and I will see you guys this afternoon.